My name is Aiden, and I'm a freshman. My Valentine's Day story is that when I was in 7th grade, I really liked this one girl, and for the purposes of this video, let's just call her Agnes. I had a huge crush on Agnes, and there was this one school dance coming up, so I decided to ask her to the dance. Hey, will you go to the dance with me? Sure. That's a big W. 7th grade me was really ballin' at that moment. I was like, okay, this means that we can sit together at lunch the next week. I was playing World of Warcraft last night, and I was just, And so I was sitting next to her at lunch trying to talk to her, but she would just kind of, not really respond to the conversations that I would try to strike up. Anyways, at the end of the week, she sat me down. She was like, I really think that you should find someone else to go to the dance with. I'm sorry, but I hope you go to the dance with someone cool. I was sad. I was upset. I was big simping out there in 7th grade. Big simping. And anyways, that same day, later on, I was talking to my friends about how I was sad about that. And one of my friends, let's just call her Margot for the purposes of this video, was like,
hey, do you want to go to the dance with me?
She was actually really funny and interesting. And so I said yes. So she decided it was time to sit with me during lunch for that next week before the dance.
Okay, so we were in my engineering class and we were talking about the structural dynamics of flow, and I don't really understand what that is. Do you know what that is? Well, neither does anyone else apparently. And he was talking about
She kept trying to strike up conversations with me, but I didn't know how to respond. And so I just kind of gave her nothing. And then at the end of that week, I sat her down and I told her, you should try to find someone else to go to the dance with. I think it's actually probably better if you find someone else to go with, and I hope you go with the dance with someone who's really cool, and I'm sorry. And so I just took that, trauma and pain that I had from, that kind of week of thinking that I kind of had a girlfriend, that week of big simping, and just, dropped it on my friend. In conclusion, I'm a terrible person. Margot, if you're watching this video, I'm sorry. Agnes, if you're watching this video, not sorry. Actually, I am a little bit. Actually, I'm not. Actually, I am, but, not too much. I'm just the right amount of sorry. Whatever you think that might be, I'm that amount of sorry.
Hey guys, my name's Bonet. I'm a sophomore. This is my bad romance. I was a sophomore in high school. I was, como se dice, crazy. I had this huge crush on this kid who we will call Vector. Everybody in the entire school knew I was really into him. I wouldn't only force him to eat lunch with us, I would also force him to give me his lunch. I would follow him around. We had no relationship, and I kind of just made him be my friend. Y'all ever seen that show called You? That's kind of like me. He never really showed any interest in me, but he also never really showed any emotion. Typically, a day for him when I was with him was just stone cold face, not a whole lot of conversation, just kind of silent. So I thought maybe underneath all those layers of intense emptiness that he showed, he had a true heart for me, and he was so in love. This was Valentine's Day, our sophomore year. I had liked him for already maybe a year and a half by then. We happened to pass by each other, and I was kind of freaking out, trying to ignore him, oh, I wonder if he noticed me. I think maybe he looked my way. I heard him call my name.
Hey, Hannah.
And he threw something towards me, and I caught it in midair. And I look at it, and it's a heart-shaped box.
Oh, thank you so much.
No worries. It was really cheap.
So, of course, I completely freaked out. I was like, ah! I was ready to tattoo Vector on my I don't care.
No, don't say that. Don't say that.
To summarize, I was ready to give it all. I was ready to...
No, don't say that. That's worse.
I was ready to sign my last name, Hannah Vector. For clarification, his name was Vector. I went home and I opened it up and there was 16 pennies. taped to where the chocolate was supposed to be, and a note. The note read, F-U, heart vector. I was talking to somebody I knew later about it, and the one thing they said to me was, well, at least he put a heart. Now it's been 4 years since then, and surprisingly, me and Vector are actually quite close friends, and we hang out sometimes. And he is nothing like he used to be, so we all cool. It's okay. Bad day. It's about time that I get my way. Steamrolling whatever I see. Despicable me.
My name's Prema. I'm a third-year student at NC State.
Hi, my name is Alex, and I am entering my senior year.
And this is the story of how we got together. Just for the purpose of this video, I'll be Lucy, and it'll be Grim.
So basically our story starts during a summer semester. We were both taking statistics, and she actually approached me through Instagram and said that she would need help on the quizzes. I immediately said, yeah, of course I'll help you. You know, we talked about statistics a lot, and then we suddenly became like really good friends, and we started talking more and more, and then I grew to have feelings for her.
At the time, I was not in the position to have a relationship. I recently got out of a long-term relationship from high school, and at first when he asked me out, I just said I wasn't ready, and I said no.
I asked a few times, didn't go my way every single time, but we remained friends. I was invited to a party with my group of friends, and I invited her.
What he didn't know is that his friends actually put me in charge of surprising him for his birthday party. It was 2 days after his birthday, and I took him out to go get some cookies. I had to make sure that he came later than usual so they can set up.
In order to get to where the party was at, we had to go into a building and ride the elevator up to the second floor. And that's when I asked her, how do I introduce you as my girlfriend?
I was stressed out, like, am I going there on time?
Sure, yeah.
So at the time I was like, sure. I said sure. And I didn't think about it until a few days later when we had to talk about it.
And it wasn't until then that we really solidified it. Yeah, that's how we became a couple, and we are still going strong a year and a half later.